Hello, hello. Hi, I am Silka, Heart for Art. I teach people step by step how to paint, and it's so easy, anyone can do it. And I also teach new painting and art tips. Welcome to this week's episode of Hearty Tips with Silka. So today I am going to show you how to protect your artwork. All right, if you've spent ages and ages creating your beautiful masterpiece, and you won't want anything to happen to it, or for it to lose its color over time or fade or anything. So I'm going to show you today the method that I use to keep my art in best condition, all right, and protected from all the elements, including time and myself, because I smudge stuff sometimes too. Now, this method is going to work for just about any medium, whether you paint acrylic paint or watercolor, whether you use pencil, just normal HB pencil or color pencil, whether you use charcoal or chalk or pastels or whatever you use. This method is going to work to protect all of your artwork against smudging, against fading, against bumps and knocks, moisture, discoloration, dirt, dust, you name it. And it's a super, super easy and super quick way to protect your artwork, all right? And it's going to keep your art looking absolutely gorgeous and colorful and vibrant for years and years, and keep it protected from damage as well, all right? Now, if you're watching on YouTube today, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you'll see all of my future painting tips and tutorials as well. Now, I'm sharing this today because I have been asked so many times what I do to protect my work. And I've also been asked many times if you need to protect your work. So thank you, Heather, who joined me in the studio last Saturday. We had fun painting Wellington by night. Thank you, Heather, for asking again and for reminding me that it's information that everybody else might want to know as well. So, who's ever finished a work of art and then accidentally ruined it? Have you done that? Let me know. Share in the comments. What have you done? Have you ever ruined your work, smudged your sketch, or spilled some coffee on something or whatever? I have, and it's heartbreaking. If you've spent ages doing it, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I want to help you avoid that. All right. So I'm going to share with you what I do. First thing you need to do, but first, before we get to that, I also get asked the question, do you need to protect your artwork? Some people may not need to. So if you want to protect your work from smudging or smears, if it's pencil or charcoal, then the answer is yes, you want to protect that. If you're hanging your artwork in a brighter light and you don't want it to fade or discolor over time, I mean, it's like small changes you don't notice over a week or a month or a year, but over years you will notice a change. So if you don't want that to happen, then yes, you need to protect your artwork. If there's any risk of moisture, again, even the atmospheric conditions and moisture over time can have an effect. If you're hanging it near a bathroom or an open window, or for me it's other painters, all my paintings in the studio, every now and then we splatter stuff and there's moisture everywhere. They may not be the same for you. But if there's any risk of moisture in the air or anywhere, then you will want to protect your artwork as well. And it's especially important for acrylic paint, because acrylic paint to a certain degree remains porous for a long time. Even if you painted it like 5 or 6 years ago, if you even get a drop of water on your paint, you'll see the dribble, you'll see the mark. So you want to definitely protect your work if it's acrylic. Or just if your painting's hanging somewhere where it's risk of bumping and smudging or dirt or dust or anything like that, then yes, you want to protect your art. So if you answered yes to any of those things I just mentioned, then you definitely want to protect your artwork. All right. Now you can frame it, put it behind glass. That will give it some protection, especially if it's like a charcoal or a pastel or a sketch or pencil or something. That will definitely give it protection against smudging and any kind of damage like that, and a little bit of moisture, but it will potentially still fade over time. Even some of my pencil sketches that I've done years ago that I didn't didn't protect, they have faded over time. So, you know, and they just color a little bit. So if you want to protect your paintings, the best method, your paintings, your art, anything, the best method that I have found is a spray varnish. All right. It basically acts like a fixative. Here's the one I use. All right. It basically acts like a fixative and it sets your work. It's kind of like when you've done your hair, you do hairspray. You hold everything in place. And that is essentially what a spray varnish will do. It holds everything in place and sets it. Ta-da! And keeps it that way forever. I've been using this method for years and years and years and years, for as long as I can remember, since my school days even. Okay, that is a really long time. But even now I can dig out 20, 30-year-old sketches that I have protected and they still look good. They haven't faded. There's no smudging. There's no damage. And they look like the day I sketched them. All right. Even my color sketches that I've done with color pencils, any paintings, they still look like the day I did them. All right. Now this I use, it's called Crystal Coat. It's a matte varnish. It's around about sort of 20 to 25 bucks. You can pick it up from any art store. They probably charge you a little bit more. Warehouse Stationery has it. Any Spotlight. Just do a search for artist spray varnish on Google and it'll tell you where you get it. It's usually about 20, 25 bucks for a can this size and it lasts for ages. I bought 2 cans 6 months ago and I spray a lot because there's tons of paintings in my business. So so it will last you for ages. There are other brands. And now just as a caveat, I'm not at all affiliated with these people. I'm just telling you this because I want to help you protect your paintings as well. All right. So there are other brands that are just as good. This is just the one I like. It's probably, I haven't tried all of them. It's just one I like. And there's also brush on options. You can get a liquid varnish and brush your paint, protect your artwork that way as well. But I do prefer to spray just because it's so much easier. Spray and walk away, dare I say. It's just so quick, so easy, way easier. So I'm going to tell you about this one today. Now, whatever brand you use, whether you use this one or another one, just have a quick read of the label and just make sure that, if it's not this one, make sure that it is good for whatever medium you are spraying with. All right. Just check that if you're using charcoal, that it lists charcoal or whatever. So have a read of the label and that will help you. But this one, everything, anything and everything, covers it all. Whatever medium you're using, it's all good to go. Now I use the matte varnish. There is also a gloss option. I choose the matte varnish because I'm not a huge fan of reflections. The gloss option is a little bit reflecty. So if you're hanging it somewhere where there's a bit of daylight, then it will reflect a little bit, but your choice. It's your preference, whatever you prefer. If you want it to like really pop, and sometimes the gloss does work on different art. But I prefer the matte version. It just gives a softer finish and lets all the colors pop. And actually, especially on sketches, if you've done like color pencil sketches, when you give it this spray, it actually somehow it makes all the colors a little bit more vibrant. It just kind of intensifies them a little bit and it makes it look even more amazing. And of course, then you're setting them and they will stay that amazing all along. So once you've chosen which matte, which type of varnish you want to do, the first thing you want to do is a spot test. All right. It's like when you're getting a new moisturizer, you want to just test it on a piece of skin or something, or any fabric stuff. You want to, test it on a piece of fabric. Test it first. What I do is I just test it on like the side of the painting, or just a little, or at the bottom, which doesn't matter if it doesn't quite work. Or I just paint a piece of canvas. If you've painted with me before, you'll know that I have test canvases where I practice on and test on. I will test it on something like that where it doesn't matter. So always do a spot test first, because different paint brands and pastel brands and whatnot will always respond in different ways. So best to just check it, even though it says that it does do it okay. And I don't think I've ever had it not work, but just for peace of mind, it's good to do a spot test first. All right. And I really want to stress, do it outside. All right. This stuff is quite pungent and potent, and it needs to be to protect your work. Okay, so you do it outside, definitely. I was going to give you a demonstration today, but I live in windy Wellington, so it would just blow away and be wasted. So I won't I won't do that. But do it outside and wear a mask, all right, because it is quite strong stuff. We've all got masks now, so wear your mask and do it outside. And what you want to do, okay, first thing you want to do when you've got your mask on and you're outside is make sure the surface is clean, all right? If you've had your painting lying on a table, there could be a bit of dust on it, and you don't want to set that dust into your painting. So just give it a brush, or if it's a pencil sketch, don't give it a brush because that will smudge it. Just, make sure there's nothing on the surface that anything that's there, you're going to set it in, basically. So make sure it's nice and clean. And then you will want to shake your can. It's got a little ball in it. Can you hear that? Pretend you're mixing a cocktail. But don't drink this one. It's not good. Give it a good shake, because that mixes all the ingredients together and basically activates the fixative properties of the spray. So give it a good shake, and you want to have your artwork upright, all right? So on an easel is fine, but you want to have it upright. Do not lay it down, all right, because all your spray is going to pull, and of course, when you hold your can like this, it won't spray properly. You need the can to be upright. So have your artwork upright, all right? Get the lid off. Have it upright and the can upright as well. Okay, and then you want to be aiming for about a 20 to 25 centimeter distance. So it's like 2/3 of a ruler. Okay, and you want to maintain that distance the whole time. Okay, roughly. Doesn't have to be like millimeter exact. But then what you do is you basically cross spray in layers, just moving down a little bit each time. You'll see as you spray, you'll see it get sort of a wetness to it. So you'll see it, and you just keep going all the way across till you've done the bottom, and then you do vertical as well. All right, so once you've done horizontal, you do it again, 20 to 25 centimeters, trying to maintain that distance, and you do it again vertical. Obviously, I'm not doing it now. I was going to do a demo, but windy Wellington ruined my plan of doing it outside and showing you. But then you do the same vertical. All right, so you do once horizontal, just moving down, and then once vertical, and that way you pretty much guarantee that you get a full coverage. All right, and you'll see where the dry patches and the sprayed patches are, so you'll see it as you go. And then once you've done that, give it a minimum of 4 hours to dry a little bit. I think it takes a full 24 hours to fully set, but give it a minimum of 4 hours and then do a second coat. So again, horizontal and then vertical as well. All right. If you want to rotate your canvas and do it that way as well, but always keep your painting upright and the spray can upright as well. Okay. And do a second coat. So like I said, this is going to work on sketches, on paintings, whether you've done watercolor, acrylic, whatever you've done, pencils, color pencils, any kind of pencils, charcoal, pastels, chalks, any medium, essentially, it will work, all right? And it's going to work on canvas, like I use mine a lot now, on board, on wood, on paper. I'm going to say like 95% of paper, and it doesn't curl. So when you spray, it doesn't curl the edges, which is great. Some of the really, really thin paper, though, I haven't tested, but it claims that it doesn't curl, all right? But it's going to work to protect pretty much anything and everything, okay? And it's non-yellowing, all right? There are some, get one that's non-yellowing. There are some that may slightly change the color, especially if you're working on white paper or cartridge paper or any kind of sketching paper. It may change the color of your paper. So make sure you get one that's non-yellowing and acid-free. All right, that's the key. So yeah, that is how to protect your art. Now, if you don't have any art yet, or you don't got a painting to protect yet, I would love to help you create one. I've got loads of fun, easy paintings. I teach them all step by step, and anyone can do them. Head over to my website, heartforart.co.nz. There. Bad aim there. And check out my online painting parties. Check out my on-demand. You can grab an on-demand painting tutorial and paint right now, today, if you want to. Or come join me in the studio for a super fun step-by-step social painting class then. So head on over to my website, just scroll down a bit, and all the upcoming events, the newest ones are straight on the homepage, or you can click on the menu and check out the upcoming studio parties, upcoming virtual parties. All the on-demand paintings are there. Some of the ones behind me are there, the newest water lilies. Oh, we had so much fun and had such great results with that one. But yeah, if you want to join me for a step-by-step painting, online, live, replay, on demand, or in the studio, whichever way. There's loads of different ways I can show you how to paint your very own painting, and they're all fun and they're all easy. And then once you've done that, what I shared with you tonight was how to protect your painting. All right, no matter what you're painting, your artwork, your sketch, your chalk, your pastels, whatever, spray varnish. All right, it doesn't have to be this brand, just any spray varnish is the quickest, easiest way to protect your painting from dust, from dirt, from smudges. I mean, chalks and charcoals, I love working with them, but they're so easy to smudge. All right, so you protect them, then they are smudge proof forever. And the beauty of this is that it protects all your colors and stops them fading over time. I know some of my prints that I've bought, some beautiful art prints, I've had them hanging in rooms that are, get some sunlight, and over time, you don't notice it after a week or a month, but over several years, they have faded terribly. I wonder if you can spray a print. I don't know. But protect your artwork and keep that color, keep that vibrancy, keep them looking stunning. Yeah. So first thing you need to do is decide whether you need to protect your artwork. If there's any danger, if it's smudging or smearing or anything like that, for your pencils and your charcoals and your chalks, then yes, you do want to protect it. If you're hanging it anywhere where there's a bit of light that can fade it or discolor it, yes, you want to protect it. If there's any risk of moisture damage, you want to protect it. And especially acrylic paint, like I said, it remains porous. Even 20 years later, it'll still attract moisture. All right. So even all the moisture and the atmospheric conditions will ruin it over time. All right. So you'll want to protect it. Best method, like I said, just summing up now, is my spray varnish. You can get the matte or the gloss. That is your personal preference. You want to do a test first, though. Do a quick spot test just on the side of your painting or underneath, or any painting or sketch or artwork that's similar. Do a quick spot test and just make sure it doesn't ruin it. I mean, 99.99999% sure it won't, and that's what it claims on the label as well, but best to check it as in the first place anyway. This one, about $25-ish. Different brands, different prices, but this is my go-to. I've been using this one for 30 years, or as long as they've made it. I've used other brands as well. They're good too, but just whatever you prefer, do a spot test first, and it'll work on sketches, paintings, charcoal, you name it, it'll work. All right, so give it a go. Protect your work. Don't let it discolor or fade, because you've spent so much effort and time and creativity creating it. You don't want to let it go to waste. Protect your work. Canvas, board, paper, whatever you're painting on, rocks, you might need a different type of no, varnish is varnish. It'll probably work on rocks. If you're rock painting is so cool, it'll probably work on that too, but you may need a slightly different version of it for rocks. So yes, and if you don't have any artwork yet, I'd love to teach you. Come join me in the studio, join me online, grab an on-demand painting tutorial. All my paintings are super easy, super fun, and you will get great results. So go check them out on my website, heartforart.co.nz. The latest ones are on the homepage. Just scroll down a bit, or check out the upcoming events and on-demand tutorials in the menu. So hopefully that has helped. Let me know if you try this, if you found it helpful. Let me know. I'd love your feedback. And if you enjoyed my tutorial, like it, share it, love it. If anyone else you know that might need it, please share it on with them as well. Tell others about it. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see any future tutorials and tips as well. So yeah, I hope that's been helpful. Thank you for watching. And look out for my next episode of Hearty Tips with Silka. If you have any questions, any art questions that you want me to answer, flick me a DM, an email, whichever way, and I will try to answer them for you. Meantime, though, stay creative, stay happy, and I hope to see you behind a paintbrush soon. Bye-bye. See you.